Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate and Stuff, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of real estate investing and the random stuff that makes life interesting. I'm John Whitfield, joined by my only co-host this week, Carlos Samora, from his Asheville music office. Uh, how's it going, Carlos?
It's good. Yeah, you'll see me here July around Christmas time and around the niece's birthdays here in the music office here in Asheville. But I'm good, man. It's beautiful out here.
It is
Mountains,
beautiful.
water park, a little slower pace of life. It's nice to come out here for a week or so at a time.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up there August. I think we have like one Airbnb booked right now,
Oh,
but
nice.
end of the last week of August, trying to get back up to the mountains. I haven't been in years, and then my soul needs the Appalachians for sure.
Nice. I'll send you some pictures. I can't remember what I hiked, but my brother-in-law hiked something. It was like I don't know, it took 2.5 hours. It was awesome.
Yeah, love hiking up there. My kids are all old
Mhm.
enough now that they could all hike pretty well. Like when we usually go, we just kind of chill, like go see some waterfalls. But this time I'm excited to go do some hiking now they're all bigger.
Nice. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, dude. How's your week going?
It's good. Just getting kicked off here. We're pre-recording early in the week, so I took off yesterday to go to the water park. Just getting back into the swing of things now. A lot of exciting conversations, like we were just talking before hitting record. Everybody is trying to get their hands in and around some form of AI without maybe
Mhm.
even knowing fully what its capability. Me, I mean, I don't even use it to its full capability. I would say I'm a pretty elementary user for a little bit, but I still use it in my day to day. But it's interesting to see how just perception is always such a huge thing. They hear and
Mhm.
see other people using it, and they feel like they have like a that they have like a mix of like FOMO or like opportunity cost of not using it, and like I need
Mhm.
to use it. I don't even know if I told you this. I met with a guy last week, I believe it was. I need to confirm this, but he said he's been on the Podio version of InvestorFuse since the first year, so going on 10 years now.
Dang.
And he was at the mastermind with Nick Perry and Sean Terry, and is in the
Uh-huh.
the plan of moving over. And he falls in that camp a little bit. He's like, hey, I have the Podio InvestorFuse set up really well, but he's like, I just don't want to get lost like with all the new technology and AI that's coming out. So I met with him for a good bit. I'm gonna get Mike, maybe myself, on a call with him this week and just dot I's, cross T's. But it sounds like everything he wants to do, we'll be able to do. A lot of people are asking about the voice now, as you may imagine. Like I've been more so on the sales and marketing front end side of showing the AI features. And now
Mhm.
John and our team are going in and actually like programming it one on one for users. So that's one of the first feedback that I'm getting, definitely exciting, but then they're like, "Oh, man, when is the?" Because currently it's text, and we'll be going to email for Autonomous Lead Manager, and then they're like, "Oh, man, when is it gonna be able to be voice?" Is the
Mhm.
next That's one of the first questions I'm getting on the sales marketing side of things.
Yeah, it's really interesting. There's like a huge buzz about like voice AI right now, and like from like a let's call it an alpha standpoint, like I'm working with several companies to see about like integrating into the CRM to be able to do like AI voice follow-ups. So like the ability to kind of like trigger AI to make a phone call. And like so far, like the integration's not going well. And not from a standpoint of like technical issues, but uh the companies that do the AI voice don't seem to like not have the drive. I don't know, maybe not the know-how. So here's my thought process, right? Like when you build an application like I have with like InvestorFuse and Carrot CRM, like you spend years doing it. And we've been building this application for a long time. And so, we work through it. It's, very thoughtfully planned out. And it takes time to build something like that without like using AI to code. Now you've got like AI is speeding things up. And I feel like we're in this like massive like cheetah race to try and like adopt
Mhm.
AI. And so solutions are popping up left and right. It's hard to tell like what they're built on, right? Did they, vibe code it into something and they're using, workflows on the back end like N8N? Have they thought about like how to bring in like get phone numbers for it and get compliance for all of that stuff? And soon as somebody like hears a demo voice, they're like, "Oh my god, that's amazing. I want that
Mhm,
demo voice for my business." And then you start to move into the phase of, okay, well, how do we make this happen? How do we trigger a phone call? How do we get details of the phone call? How do we incorporate this into like a system, not just a CRM, but into like a business? And everything seems to grind to a halt. And it's like the focus has been put on like make the best voice possible,
mhm,
and make it have the best conversation possible, and less on how can this functionally work for a business and integrate into what that business is using. And like I'm seeing that in not just AI voice, just AI applications in general. Like they're just popping up left and right, and it's like whack-a-mole. Not that you would hit them, but there's so many of them, and they do some little piece really well, and like people want that piece in their business, but trying to get that into their business seems to be very difficult, um and time consuming, and so it's like not matching up to people's like expectations of what's possible with the technology that exists right now. So I don't know. I think what we'll see is like continued just a ton of these things popping up, and I think what will ultimately end up being successful is those that have the systems and integration points and a reliable backend that can scale, to kind of deploy into people's applications. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting world, and it does feel like so much like a cheater race. It's like
mhm.
everybody's starting to feel like if I'm not doing something, I'm going to be left behind, or somebody else is going to get there first. And so the expectations of what is possible are very like difficult to kind of meet. And yeah, it's just, I mean, it's something you gotta do it the right way. You've got to do it carefully. Um, and so far, that doesn't seem to be my experience with, what's happening
Yeah.
right now.
I think a lot of people making the companies are like high D former real estate people or current real estate people that can just get a piece of it working and know and like can take actions like marketing it and meeting with people and stuff like that. Maybe jumping out and pulling the parachute on the way down or whatever the expression is. It
Yeah.
is interesting to see, but I also believe that X amount of time or X percentage of your time spent on doing discovery and kind of being the campaigner of AI, like even though it's not going to be perfect, at some point it's going to hit,
Yeah.
and those people will be rewarded to a certain extent versus the people
Yeah.
that are kind of waiting it for it to be finalized.
I definitely think you have to be pushing on it. I don't think you should be sitting back and waiting, and I think
Mhm.
you wanna be adopting. Um, but yeah, it kind of feels like the beginning of Podio for real estate, just like there were a gazillion different, like, templates out there, and people like what you're saying, like, people who are great at real estate, figure out like how to make a system in it, and like, here, buy my setup, but you're here, and then there's 30 other people saying the exact same things.
Mhm.
It's
It is
an
interesting, man.
interesting. Seems like life is repeating itself.
Yeah. Another common thing with AI or like just the subject of AI, people are talking about like, jobs going extinct with AI and stuff like that. Kind of a side talking point is the importance of building community and
Mhm.
like followers and like your tribe. And I think part of that is because whenever you have a product or a service or something that you can offer, it's like you have your hot or warm network that
Mhm.
you're going to be able to convert into sales. Not to make it so sound so transactional, but like you're going to be able to monetize or have like customers essentially right out of the gate. So I think you see that as well. Like if Pace came out with an AI or he promotes the Prop AI that he
Mhm.
mentioned on Steve Trang's podcast, which I'm sure is doing super well. At least from the wholesaling and the viewers of that had like that episode had like 15-20,000 viewers, I think Brady said when I sent it to
Yeah.
him. So I'm sure they're doing really well. But that's also the importance of AI and thinking about like what's not going to be able to be replaced. And part of
Yeah.
that's real human community, and that's one of the reasons for having community.
Yeah. 100%. It's interesting too, because like prop AI seems very like replacing outbound calls, like
Hmm.
outbound cold calling.
Hmm.
The follow-up AI space is very, very different. What's the Gator method?
That's being able to loan, essentially do short term loans that could be small amounts for like
Oh,
EMDs, or I think they can be small, quick turnaround loans, like as small
interesting.
as like 1,000, 3,000 bucks. So it's essentially lending money, shorter timelines, and can be shorter amounts of money or smaller amounts of
Interesting.
money. Mhm.
Yeah, so I don't know. Keep I mean, from anybody listening, if you know of a AI voice for follow up that you want to try, shoot me a message.
Yeah.
Intrigued to kind of test them out. I think like what it's going to take is kind of weeding through all the ones that pop up and finding the ones that actually work.
Mhm.
Um, so far, I've already said no to a few after trying to integrate with them. They're just not, built for what we need them. It does seem like a race to grab cash in these solutions as fast as possible.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but have you been following Victor on? I've been logging into Facebook more often. Victor on
It's funny that
Facebook.
you mentioned that. I was gonna mention him in the pre-show. I have been. I actually took some of the links that he put down for, like, how I'm learning AI and just put it, like, in
Hmm.
Asana task for myself
Hmm.
to check out. He'd be somebody interesting to talk to
Yeah, moving to
about how
Salesforce.
he's yeah, about how he's using it and everything like that. I don't know if he posts anything Salesforce specifically of how he's using AI, but I know that he went over there. I think he may still have an investor fuse space.
He's still on Podio, but
Yeah.
he canceled Left Main. He's now making the switch to the 80/20 Salesforce.
Okay.
He has a whole thread on that, and he was just saying, Podio, or he said Salesforce is better than Podio and Go High Level. And there's like, I mean, when I looked, there was like 50 comments of people going in and arguing one way or the other, or left main versus 80/20. But he's sounds like he's moving in that direction to get the AI features that he wants, and to have the transactions and dispo management that he feels like he gets in Podio and can't get in Go High Level.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, Go High Level is super popular, super buzzword, but I don't know it too well. I know it's just customizable. People say it's like what Podio should have been, but it'd be good to learn
Yeah.
a little bit more positioning around like the negatives of it, or like what doesn't work outside of it not being real estate specific.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's a sales marketing tool, I think is the first piece, that, is the most important. It was built for agencies, and I think that's
Mhm,
still like their target audiences is like people, marketing agencies who are running ads and generating leads for businesses. And so it's meant to kind of
mhm,
be the tool to do that and hand off, or potentially kind of, full on sales cycle. And so there was a person who commented in there as like, after Victor said, "I don't like Go High Level because I can't do transactions in Dispo." There's a guy who said, "Well, the way we do it is we have 2 Go High Level accounts, one for sales and one for Dispo and transactions." Because I don't think the features blend in one account for 2 types of purposes.
mm,
And really that's 3 types of purposes, but Dispo and transactions can kind of blend a little bit. Um, and so, like, the ability to do the outreach and then the AI features that they do have is very, like, account specific, and you can't kind of, like, separate them, too much inside of one account. But yeah, people like it. It's got, built-in web pages, built-in, ad management kind of functionalities. Um, but you get a lot for it, and that's always to a downside, right? Like, always that fear of, am I using it the right way? Am I using it to its fullest potential? Do I even need all of these things? But for the majority of people, the price point kind of fits for an all-in-one. But I think we'll start to have the same conversations as time goes on of like Podio versus Go High Level. You can't really do custom development on it. You can change some things in it and add some things on it, but it's very much like Salesforce in that regard, right? Like if you wanted to do something, you got to pay, a custom developer for it, and you're just continuing to tinker with your solution versus buying a solution that's super toned in, focused in on, what it is that you're trying to do and accomplish, like we built.
mhm. Agreed. Agreed. It's interesting to see though. Um, and like I said, I know we age ourselves a little bit here, but it's been interesting just seeing the landscape of CRMs and tools, and even lead generation tools, texting tools when texting was super
Mhm,
popular. I know last week we were talking about like PropStream
mhm.
acquiring batch leads and batch dialer, and Dataflick and REI Sift merging. So it's wild seeing the industry and different moves being made.
Yeah, yeah, it is very interesting. Well, I think it's gonna change faster than it ever has in the next
Hmm.
1 to 5 years. Be
Hmm.
like a totally different world than how it has been in the last 10 years.
Yeah. And what do you think? I know we've brought it up before, but like, what do you think of the people that it's like kind of popular too? People saying like SaaS is dead or gonna die out.
I think that I think yes. In the traditional sense of SaaS, I think it will die off, to a degree. I think there'll still be SaaS companies out there and the bigger ones, but I think and it will probably go through this, like, rapid change in the next couple of years. So, it's possible to build a SaaS app now with code vibing and all the AI solutions that are out there, in a weekend, let's say. Is that tool that you're going to be building, you build via vibe coding that way, going to be as good as some of the others that have been around for a long time? No. From a back end scaling perspective, I don't think those vibe coding tools and AI tools are there yet. I think it'll take a long time for them to get there. Maybe not. AI is changing so much. And so what I think we'll see is like a switch from I'm building a SaaS tool because nobody else has the capability to build it to be now we have a lot of like mini SaaS tools out there.
Hmm.
And so it's easier for people to spin something up. And so I think we'll see things very much more focused, like super dialed into an audience, and like their specific needs. I think like that's where you can really win is like I found this one little niche and
Hmm.
this is their problem. And SaaS speaks to that, right? But it's like you gotta, if you want to get to the scale that you want to get to, but you could do it with a really small team using AI now. You don't have to like say, oh, I'm a SaaS company. I've got to grow to, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 employees to kind of manage the business I create. I think you can use AI a lot with that to do that. And I don't think you'll ever need as many developers as you would to create a SaaS tool. So I don't think it's dead. I think it's going to change drastically. I am worried for the bigger SaaS businesses that have been around for a long time. If they're not changing how they approach things, I think they will get beat by the other people that are coming into this new world and utilizing all the new tools that exist. So I think it's important for them to kind of stay on top of that.
The bigger SaaS tools like Salesforce.
No, I'd like medium-sized businesses like us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see, and I wonder if there's gonna be at some point this year. I still need to go through, like, I skimmed through the 2027 article. I sent it to Dan. I'm still waiting for him to hit me back on it. Um, but I'm curious if there's gonna be at some point this year where there's just, like, massive AI growth. Like, it just goes, like, crazy effectiveness. Like, even with the voice callers where the acquisitions, like, seeming like overnight or one of these week periods where it's like the evolving AI post where it's like, hey, here's what came out this last week, where it's like, one day we wake up this back half of 2025 and it's just like X% of AI acquisitions agents are now better than, the average human person. Like, I think that could happen.
It could. I think it's always going to be dependent upon like the core model. So whenever you
Hmm.
hear any of the bigger AI companies releasing something new, then like you know that you're going to be in for a waterfall change. So like GPT-5, Nick keeps telling me it's coming out soon. I don't know where he's getting his news from. I haven't researched it. I just wait to like hear when it happens. But Nick Perry keeps saying to me like GPT-5 is coming. Um, and so OpenAI and then Anthropic, I would say are the two kind of biggest players. I mean, Grok's out there and Facebook's out there as well. And then there's Google and Amazon actually just released their own vibe coder, I think yesterday, or sometime this week. So it's all reliant upon those models. So I think what we have right now, will like continue to kind of get better as people figure out how to do things and use things. But whenever there's a new model that comes out, and usually the way a new model will work is it will come out in like a chat basis first. It's not available for API. And so they give it to, if you got chat GPT or you've got Anthropic, you can go work with the model in a chat interface. And once it gets there for a little while, people use it, talk to it, and everything's going well, then it comes out for API. When it comes out for API is when now the game changes again. It's like, okay, now we have a better, smarter LLM that's capable of doing more functionality. And the AI 2027 talks about it in there. It's like, or maybe not there. Maybe it was in one of the response articles I read to it, but it talks about like how it maps each model to how, like, what's the most complex task that it can do that a human does, and how long does that, task take. And so like the models right now are really only up into the 10 to 15-minute range of a complex task that, AI can do by itself with no guidance. And so the more models we get, the more that charts upward, and then we start to have, hey, now via the API I can do this more complicated thing. And so when people start to play with that, then we start to see like new functionality come out to the marketplace that didn't exist before. I think AI voice is a little different. Like people are doing things in that space right now, and they're not necessarily relying upon the bigger models like OpenAI and Anthropic. They're more like figuring out how do we uh, the engine behind a conversation. It still uses the models, and the models do have an effect on that. But they're building their own things that I think could grow faster. But yeah, it's really dependent upon when do we get those new models and what are those models capable of.
Mhm. Will be interesting to see, man. It'll be interesting to see, but I'm excited how we're positioned and rolling out features as well. I
Yeah.
think the lead manager and then the comping offer range will be huge. When is that supposed to come out roughly?
Should be in beta. I'm hoping by the end of the week, maybe early next week. We're building
Nice.
it right
Yeah,
now.
that'll be exciting. We get asked about that a lot for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited for that feature. It's pretty cool. Um, it's got a lot more functionality that we're building into it than I even had in the alpha version.
Good.
So market data, to give you kind of an analysis of where the house is and what's happening around it would be a lot of fun.
I'm curious too now with the voice thing jumping around a little bit with the acquisitions voice because as I'm kind of like demoing Carrot CRM slash Investor Fuse, it's like if someone generates a lead from an AI cold caller, then it's able to get an auto response or a warm transfer to a voice agent. Like, are we going to eventually see lead generation to lead under contract? I know that is probably going to take a while for an AI agent to be able to like negotiate price and send a contract and stuff automatically. But I don't think it's too far fetched. I'd be crazy if you just set the marketing up and essentially you can just see contracts come out in the back end. And I think that's what people want,
That's what
partly
people
not
want.
from lazy
Yeah.
efficientness. It's definitely people like want that. Like even like talking with like Jamie about like what gets people excited about these features. I'm like, I think part of it is like people are like just trying to do as least work as possible, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
But also be efficient slash like it's the perception of like, oh, I should just be trying to get AI to do everything. But I think that could be coming relatively, in the near future.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for that to be here in the near future. Is it going to be as good as, the best acquisitions people out there? Probably not. And the other thing too is very reliant upon data, right? Like
Mhm.
in order to be able to comp a property correctly, and even the tool that we have that we're working on, I think it gives an accurate range, but there's still things in there like in a traditional underwriting process that we don't cover like right now. and trying to get the data to accomplish those are pretty difficult. And what we're finding is places like Zillow and Redfin that people currently kind of go do their own unique underwriting approach on are starting to block these kind of like AI functionalities on their website, because they don't want to lose traffic to their site. They don't want AI to be the only ones going to their site and doing things. They
Mhm.
want actual users because they are able to they make money off of people visiting their site, seeing ads, and all the other stuff that's on it. So once we get to that point where the the data of I can make an accurate price, then I think that kind of becomes more reality. I think AI voice will be able to like handle objections, present an offer to the point where you could get a contract signed. But is AI making the right offer amount? I think that's still a problem to solve. Um, but I mean that people want that. That is the dream, right?
Mhm.
And so I think everybody's going to be marching towards that area of the dream for sure.
Mhm. And I'm curious too on the marketing side of things. Like I know we met with Joe Potenza a bit lately, and he
Mhm.
has an interesting strategy for his Google Ads management. Um, I'm curious how much AI is being used in that area of like lead generation and also just like I don't know, I guess lead generation overall. It's mainly going to be different search engines. Um, how to get into the Gemini search results. I don't know. It's interesting
You
to
know who has the
think
tool
about
for
and see.
that?
Who's that?
Custom.
Does he? I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I'm actually in his like little group for this. It's called AEO.com.
Mhm.
Um and yeah, that's what or AEO.co. And that's the focus of his kind of what he's doing right now. He's got a co-founder, and it's like how do you optimize your websites to be in the AI answering.
Hmm.
And so he's like doing a lot of research into that, and he's built a product about it. Um, I haven't seen the product yet. I'm excited to get in there, but I think like that's a trend that we're going to continue to see is people are just going off of the AI search results, and not
Mhm.
many people are scrolling through what's actually being there. And I mean, Google is using what is coming up in the search. Have you done like the deep search AI
Mm-mm.
feature yet? I did it the other day, accidentally
In
this last
Google?
weekend. Yeah, so if you go to Google and
No.
you search something, so let's just say top real estate investors in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, look, want to sell now popped up.
Nice.
It's showing my Google Ads summary. That's weird. All right, so let me share my tab here, right? So here is the AI overview, right? And so several top companies, blah blah blah. You go show more. Um, is it not popping up? I'm on a business account. Hang on, let me switch to like a user account because I'm on a Google Ads attached account.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why is
Um,
it showing
let's just do something else. Let's just say, how do I fix the AC in my car? Okay, so yeah, it's doing it on this one. Window. All right, I gotta move my windows. So this, I don't know how new this is. I just randomly saw it this weekend, because I was on somebody else's computer and didn't want to sign into my chat GPT. And so I was like, can I use Google search the same kind of way? So this is already popping up.
new
It
ad
says
mode?
try new AI mode, right? And so this is what it normally looks like, right? So here's the AI
Mhm.
overview, and then you can expand that out, and then there's no more results. But if you hit continue, it sends you into a whole new interface. And
Wow.
so you probably just saw it there, like zoom by real fast. But watch
Mhm.
what happens if I say, well, what is happening is my compressor is leaking something. I see it shooting out. Okay, watch what happens down here real fast. Thinking, kicking off 7 searches, looking at it just looked at 115 sites
That's
in
so
like
cool.
milliseconds. And so, like, this is what I think is going to continue to happen, right? And so, like, I think Gemini, Google Search Gemini is better built for this than, OpenAI ChatGPT. Although OpenAI and ChatGPT do have web search, like it does not seem to go as fast as this does. The fact that
Mhm.
it did 7 searches that a human would want to go through and then read and review 115 sites that came from those 7 searches and then provide an overall summary for all of those. Like that's pretty incredible.
Mhm.
And so this is what is going to occur. And so now you can just start to be like drilling into this. And it said like refrigerant leaks are common AC problem. You can have a UV leak detection kit. Where can I find a UV leak detection kit? So people are going to chat within their search results. So kicking out 3 searches, and that was 120 sites. So now it says here's some auto parts store. It knows my location, so it just suggested auto parts stores in my location. It gives me Amazon Marketplace links and
Wow.
even specialty suppliers. Here are the local Google search results, tips for buying. Let's ask it. Which local store has the best reviews? 7 searches, looking at 63 sites, best overall, radio edit automotive. Weird. I guess this is 5.0, but not really what I'm looking for. But this O'Reilly has 20 reviews. So, like, I think this is what is going to continue to happen in search
Yeah,
results,
wow. That's super
and I think
fast.
people will just start to have a conversation about search. Like that AI overview that we've all like seen for what has it been now, like 6 to 4 months, depending upon what Google account you're using, is now evolving even further than what we thought before. And it's like users, are not going to visit sites. I think like that's the end of the story. Like
Mhm.
traffic to websites is not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's like, how do I get into the answering, search engine results, be what my people are be what my, potential leads are looking for, and those leads come to the site and still convert on my website the way they used to.
Hmm. Damn, that's crazy. I'm about to start going back to Google search now. I've been using ChatGPT pretty much
Yeah,
only as a
me
Google
too.
search.
Like, yeah, I've been using ChatGPT because of its AI ability to search the web. But I definitely think that Google Gemini is doing it better now and more
Hmm.
thoroughly.
Wow. This just came out this week or last week?
I just noticed it this weekend. I don't know when it came out.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, let's
And
ask
for
it.
house searches, when you're doing, like, motivated seller searches, it's same thing?
I'm not sure. Let's do that next. When did this Google AI
The interface is just
new?
like ChatGPT too.
Yeah.
I wonder how it'll potentially charge people for ads, like, if it shows up in conversation, or I guess this is organic, it's not ads.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And so like how does Google's they make most of the revenue from Google Ads. How does Google Ads
Mhm,
fit into this? I don't think it
mhm,
does currently. So this started to roll out May 20th, but I think they're starting to like actually push it more and like make it more obvious. The way that you used to get it is you'd go here, you'd go like show more, and
mhm,
then all the way at the bottom of this, that's how I got to it this past weekend. There was a button here that said go deeper. And so I
mhm. Well, I
clicked
did
go
see the
deeper.
AI mode maybe a month ago. I did see that,
Mhm. And
and it
see
had a
now it's
little
like
prompt. It's like, "Do you
gone.
wanna use AI mode?"
How do I get back to my AI mode? So let's do this. I want to sell my house fast in Gainesville, Florida. I'll do cash home buyers. Several local and
Nice.
national companies specialize. Companies like Grid Home Buyers, Sell My House, Florida, Priority Home Buyers, and Sell Your Gainesville Home Today offer quick cash offers. These buyers often handle all paperwork and closing costs. However, be aware that cash offers typically below market value, ranging from 70 to 80% of the market value. Online marketplace, bridge loan services, selling and agent keys takeaway. What is the benefit for doing a cash home buyer deal? quick closing, reduce risk of deal falling through. So like that's the thing, right? Like it's pulling this from websites. So like there's still an SEO strategy to like your website content being a source for this information, and you can see here all the
Mhm.
5 sites, right? So iBuyer, House Buyer America, Bankrate, Sell My House Florida, Chris Lindell Real Estate all popped up and are pulling it from here. Um, if I wanted to do that, who do you recommend that is local to Gainesville? Grid home buyers, 5-star with Google 23 Google. Like, so Google reviews, I think, are becoming massively important if you want to be
Mhm.
showing up here. Selma House, Florida, 5-star 22 reviews.
The
Priority home
first sentence of
buyers.
everything.
Mm-hmm. 5-star 13 reviews. Selma Gainesville received a 5-star rating with 98 reviews. Reviews highlight their fair negotiations, quick closing responsiveness. They also specialize. So I'd be like, oh, all right. What about this person? It opens up over here. There's the guy. Now I go to the website and here we go. Designed by Devin Sprague. Interesting. We're
Name
talking to
sounds
him.
familiar. Oh, you know him?
Carrot's talking to him because he's been popping up lately for
Mm,
building
for
those good
SEO?
sites.
Oh,
Hmm.
nice.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a tank in your living room.
No. Super interesting.
Yeah. So very like intriguing. I think that takes time though. Like I still think that a lot of people are going to be wary of using AI like this. So as much as we say like it's coming and you need to adapt, I do think your business needs to like look at these things. But if we're to think about like what's actually happening and how people are interacting with it, like I was with people who have a very uh, reputable construction business inside of Gainesville over the weekend, and I was helping them with some stuff. Smart people, they follow the news, they're aware of what's happening in the world, they're aware of AI, they're parents, but they don't really use it. Like, and their extent to using it is the AI overview in Google search.
Mhm.
Never use Chat GPT, don't really have a desire to do it, but they do see some of the benefit with what's happening inside of the AI overview inside of Google search. Do they use it the way I just did and would be willing to like enter a new mode and experience it? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And so I think like there's a lot to consider with the target audience of people who do bring you a cash home sale. Are they the type of people that are going to be using this kind of
Right.
search? But the fact of the matter is, like, maybe our web presence and our functionality for like SEO and motivated online leads isn't going to change in like the next 2 months. But it will continue to like be more and like on phones too. I think that's really important, right? Like you just saw what Google did to our search experience here. I went into a no mode. Like what's going to happen on a phone? And people search differently on a phone than they do on a web browser, and it's easier for
Mhm.
these companies to like implement their AI tools defaultly into kind of phone searches. So I definitely think it's something people should all be looking at and be aware of.
Mhm. For sure. Yeah, the same demographic, maybe older, not as tech savvy, may not be using the AI, and those are also the people that are thinking that the AI cold calling agents are real people too, having 10,
Right.
15-minute conversations with AI bots.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's interesting, but it makes sense. Google search is gonna prioritize Google My Business.
Absolutely. And like we've been talking about that in the real estate industry for a long time. Like people should be focusing on Google My Business and should be building up reviews. And a lot of people ignore it
Mhm,
because they haven't seen the benefit. And now those that have been building that for a long time are going to see their hard work pay off pretty quick.
mhm, 100%. Interesting, man. New stuff coming out every single week.
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
updates and
It's
things
very,
coming
very
out every
cool.
single week. Mhm.
Yeah, that's about the state of the world right now that I can think of.
State of the world right now. We only can guess what Papa P is getting into this week. We'll have him back next week.
Yep. I'm actually not here next week. I keep forgetting to tell you guys,
Oh,
so
really?
you might have to do the podcast with me. I'm going up
We can
to
do an
Chattanooga for
MVP.
Turtle
Nice.
conference.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
You
super,
guys have
super
a fun
cool.
week without me.
We will. MVP will hold down.
Cool. When are you
Cool,
traveling
man.
back to Miami?
Tomorrow night.
Nice.
Tomorrow night, so we'll
Take
be
a little
working again
visit.
from here. Yeah. I got in what day? I got in Thursday. Thursday to Wednesday.
Okay.
A 6 day. Hmm.
Didn't you used to be up there for longer? I feel like you're up there
No, I
for
usually
longer.
do around like a week.
Okay.
A week, maybe I would do 2 weekends.
Okay.
Like a 10 day. So I'm here for like during the week and then both weekends.
Nice. Cool. Well, enjoy your time there.
Thank you,
See
man.
ya. See you around.
Definitely will. Take it easy.